Hey everyone, I'm here today with Michele Mattiuzzi. Michele, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Michele, give us the elevator pitch of your creative career. So tell us everything in 20 seconds or less.
Sure. So I play Constable Neil Stevenson on Channel 7's Home and Away, a role that I've played for the past 6 years. I've had a couple of other performances on some film and television productions, and I'm really excited. I got a great role coming out this year on the sequel to Blue Murder. It's playing a guy called Ricky Hazel, and it's directed by Mike Jenkins, starring Tony Collette and Richard Roxburgh.
Excellent. That's exciting stuff.
I'm pumped, man. It should be good.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Now, outside of acting, you're also pretty busy being a senior person in the corporate world. Tell us about that.
Well, mate, so the role that I do is I'm the strategic business manager of Harvey Norman's Business and Education Division.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Harvey Norman's only national franchise. So I work together with our director and our general manager and sales team to set the strategic direction for our business and work with all our vendors and partners and just drive business outcomes, basically.
Excellent. Now, how do you find the synergy between the work you do in the corporate world and your acting stuff?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Well, our office is literally walking distance from the Home and Away studio, so that's really handy, being able to get up and down there very quickly.
Convenient.
Yeah, and in terms of synergies, with managing relationships with all different vendors and stakeholders and things like that, you're always working towards trying to get a positive outcome. And I think it's no different to being an actor on set. You've got the director, you've got the production team, cast and crew, and everyone else behind the scenes, and you're all working together, to the same goal as well. So, managing relationships, working well together, and then on the acting side of things, doing things like your voice classes, your camera classes, all that helps when in the corporate world. If you've got to present, whether it's a sales strategy or at a conference, you've got to talk in front of a group of people. So yeah, I think they all work really well together.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, with your role in Home and Away, you said you've been doing it for over 6 years. How do you think you got into such an enduring role?
Well, look, I think initially, having been my previous role, I was in the Australian Federal Police. I was a tactical operations officer working in a team called the ODT. So we provided protection for the Prime Minister, the Governor General, was weapons instructor. Wow. So yeah, I think having done that in the real world, some of that, if that translates to screen and doing it, playing a police officer on the show, I think really helps. So and then turning up on time to set, learning the lines, and just trying to get on well with everybody. I think all that helps.
Yeah. Excellent. Now, I know that you're a pretty strategic thinker when it comes to the arts, from conversations you and I have had in the past. Can you share some of that strategy with us? Yeah,
so look, in business, we always talk about working, with the end in mind and working backwards. So setting a goal and working backwards to how you achieve that. So for me personally, with acting, I've just kind of taken the same model and gone, what do I want to achieve in my career? And then I work backwards to get there. So I think definitely playing to your strengths helps. So for me personally, it's been the experience I've had in the AFP and the Federal Police is leaning on that, and that's reflected in the body of work I've done with the kind of characters I've played. So that's kind of been part of my strategy. And then from there, down the track, I want to look at maybe, diversifying and playing some different kinds of roles, probably some comedy, because I'm a very funny guy, and I'm not serious, and
you don't seem the least bit serious at all. He's really funny. Saw him down at the pub the other night.
I don't drink.
Great stuff. He
Never
doesn't drink, but he was telling some crackers
on the waters.
It was amazing stuff. Michele, look, final question.
Yeah.
If you were to give one piece of advice to someone who wants to break into the artistic world, what would you tell them?
Look, the first thing I'd want to try and do is dispel the whole struggling artist, I'm a struggling actor and wearing it as a badge of honor. I think it's something that just gets perpetuated way too much. And look, there are those people who have been successful and it's happened, next thing their career takes off. But on the whole, I think for the majority of people, that journey doesn't happen like that. So my advice would be, get your shit sorted in other areas of your life, your finances. Don't turn down good paying jobs or a successful job because, I've got to go to auditions. Like, you don't need that much time to go to auditions and do that. So work, a successful career around, acting. So, you're not giving up on acting, but then you're comfortable until you get there, because, if you're struggling financially or your relationships are strained with your family or your partner, like, you can't possibly, do your best creative work. So it would be, have success in all those other areas of your life as well as acting, and don't just make that the be all and the end all, you know?
Mate, I think that is some absolutely fantastic advice. I couldn't agree more.
Right.
Michele, thank you so much for coming along. It's great to have you. See you guys later.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.